Hey everyone! Today I'm hosting the first ever Dev Talk in honor of the second anniversary in Mech Arena. Of course, it wouldn't be Dev Talk without devs. So today, joining me, Pasha and Kyrylo from the game design team. Say hello, guys!
Hi!
Hi!
In a nutshell, what do you guys do? Not here, I mean, obviously, in Playroom.
Yeah, I understand.
We sit in the meetings.
Sweet.
Yeah, so basically...
Sad but true.
Yeah, sometimes it's sad, sometimes it's just chilling. Well, in general, game design was in Playroom and in every studio you may think of. Game designers, the main job of theirs is to make decisions. And to make decisions when you are working in a team, you need to discuss them, and that's why I mentioned meetings. In post-COVID world, it's the only way to communicate with each other. You set a meeting, you can just go in, in cafeteria of your office and talk there. Yeah, we make decisions, and we are the ones who start everything in development. We come with ideas, we try to discuss them, try to change something to see what fits the game, what's not. Then we describe them for development in more details, transfer these requirements to them, and then overview and control the development process, so everything will be released in a way we've seen it in our heads. It's like a general flow of the game design process.
Yeah, that's nice. Now I'm working on content specifically. On Mech Arena, I'm working on mechs, weapons, and pilots. That's my big responsibility.
So before, guys, we jump into some nitty details, I cannot help but ask you about your favorite game mode in Mech Arena, obviously.
Deathmatch for me.
What exactly? We have a lot of deathmatches in the game.
Just 5v5.
Okay, my favorite is free fall.
Oh, I see. So I have a question here, because a lot of players, they ask to make free-for-all as an independent game mode. Is there any specific, reason we're keeping it just tournament only for now?
Yeah, there is a reason. We want, the big problem of having a lot of game modes in the game is that you separate the players. They just, play everything, and it's often harm our PvP matchmaking, and that's why we keep it to free-for-all, so players will, more often meet other players in it, because
we don't divide the player base between different modes, and it's easier to match players versus players.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. By the way, Kyrylo said free-for-all is his favorite game mode. That's the one I was working on before I started working on content. So.
Oh, and that's the one.
Fact. Connection here.
Yeah. And then I almost finished it, and then Kyrylo took over me and finished the job on free-for-all actually. So it's like our own child.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. Well, that was. It took a lot of time for us to develop this game mode, and it came out pretty dynamic and changed a lot in the game in terms of experience of players. Some even said that we should develop it earlier and release it as our main game mode in the game, not like Control Point or 5v5 you've mentioned, but so the free-for-all should have been there on our first launch when we launched globally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of pitfalls, you have to consider before making it as a separate mode, so I really appreciate it. By the way, honestly, I'm a fan of CPC, so it was pretty surprisingly for me that you mentioned different game modes, because I thought just capturing beacons is one of the most common activity in our game, so it's really great.
Yeah, that's right. And it's fun. You can actually win the game by only capturing the beacons and not caring about killing everybody on the map.
We should add some pacifist achievement in the game. You know, like in some games, like Deus
Killed
Ex.
no one, but
Yeah. Win the game without killing anyone, and just be an amazing free-for-all control point achievement.
And do not die.
Well, it should be another achievement. Like,
You're more like a fan of hardcore achievements, yeah?
A little bit, just a little bit.
yeah.
So I have one more question to you guys. You mentioned about some players' requests. So it seems you're really into researching the community feedback, some player suggestions. But do you guys watch some of our content creators?
Of course we do.
Yeah, from time to time. They give pretty detailed feedback, so it's a quite nice source of...
I do like how they make content about Mech Arena. And I remember a guy, Indian Whale, I guess that's the name of the channel. He's one of the guys making content for a long time for us. I like Scape. And that guy, I think he's a pretty new one, Raffles Gaming, I believe it's called.
Yeah.
A really cool one with the comparison of mechs, weapons, tier lists, so shout out. Nice one, bro.
Yeah, I actually look for Raffles Gaming as well, pretty often. It's just, you know, he got really good quality of content, and I think a lot of other content creators, both in Mech Arena and even in other games we monitor, they should aim into such quality when, you know, of videos. And also I'm watching Scape. He got pretty long, and you know, he go into details a lot of everything he sees, and you know.
So you're more into like explanatory videos and some tutorials, guys, reviews, right?
Yeah, because they're doing our job.
I actually remember one more cool video, cool content creator channel. He mostly do, you know, some gameplay footage videos, but it's not the best part of it, but the previews of the videos with robots with hands. You remember this guy?
Yeah, that's super funny.
Just if you are watching this, you should, you know, have some tag in Google Drive with just this preview, so everybody could take it for, you know, background for their laptop, or even like we have here the previews on the wall. Just amazing.
Yeah, that is sweet. Our community is really fruitful in terms of some funny memes, you know, they come up with the ideas and the content, and we really appreciate that. We already mentioned, you know, some of your topics for content creators, and what about your top combo mech and weapon? I mean, you develop them, so they're kind of your children, and it's really hard to pick one, but probably you can remember.
I do have one.
Oh.
Oh, I know. What is it?
Yeah, of course you know, because we play against each other very often.
Yeah.
My fave is Orion with Gauss rifles. That's my top pick. I do like it. I know it's we all know what the meta is, and I'm sure it's like a little bit fallen apart from the meta, but I still do like it because, yeah, I did develop this content, but still, it's not the main reason why I like it. The thing is, we have more powerful weapons, probably we even have more powerful mechs, and you can find a better combo. But what I do like about it is that how satisfactory it is to shoot with these rifles and hitting like every shot on any distance. That's a nice feeling.
Yeah, it should be truly satisfying when you develop by yourself and you see that this type of weapon succeeded, so it's great.
I don't actually have a favorite one. I often change my hanger and you know, try new stuff we release, try new combinations to, you know, diversify my gameplay, and it's quite nice, especially when you play this game a lot, because a lot of our time we actually just play like on with other players or on our test servers and play test new stuff. Lately, one of my favorites probably will be Onyx with Missile Racks and Neymar Pilot, Neymar Junior Pilot there. So it's a very speedy one and with a lot of damage. Quite nice. You just go out and it's 3 guns with similar mechanics. You just boom, 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 and everyone dead in front of you. Just an amazing.
Yeah,
top.
double specialization is top for
This
pilots.
guy talked about the how's it called? Pacifist achievement.
Yes. Because pacifist achievement is, as a game designer, it's often that you cannot just talk about and play games as a normal player. You try to take other stuff. You just look at things and you take some info. You can,
That's probably the worst thing about being a game designer, that you're not like treating all the games that you play the same way as the players do, because you always see like, I would do here another way, or they did it well, but you're kind of losing that for sure.
And what is the main challenge in development? Just adding some new content more and more into Mech Arena.
Sometimes the scene you came with is not the scene that works, and you need to, let it be, just do something else, edit on what you've done, learn from it, but you should agree that that is not what players will experience after all, because it may be good in your head, but in reality it's not the best decision and not the best experience for players.
So there are some situations when you had, this great idea, you develop something, some feature, then you test it and you see that it just doesn't fit right, it doesn't feel this way, so you have to skip it or, reschedule for another time, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
the same thing works with the content as well. Just because you can have some idea in your head and you're thinking that it will be played like this or like this, and when you have that play test and you're just not feeling it, you're just not feeling this mech or this weapon, we're trying to rebuild it, rethink, and come through a lot of iterations of it before it comes to development, production.
So it's not about, the smooth way, success.
No, there are a lot of cases when it turns out to be, in the end, it turns out to be not the way how you expected it would be.
So, any embarrassing whoopies you'd like to share with us?
There are a lot of them actually that might be interesting to the players. If we're speaking about the content from the last ones, that Eclipse mech, it should have had the different stealth mechanics. It should be like totally invisible for the players. But when we presented this idea to developers, it turned out that there are some difficulties in its realization, and we could actually do it, but it would take more time than we had to develop this mech. And when you asked about the challenges, one of the challenges for me as a content game designer is to deliver content in time, because we're doing a lot of content recently, and sometimes we just don't have time to, like, I don't know, make something really deep, I don't know, and you have to cut some ideas. And this was one of the cases when we decided to cut this like full invisibility and change it with immune to status effects.
So you're still limited by some technical parameters, some resources, people resources?
I'd say we're limited in time mostly, because we actually could do it, but we won't be in time with delivering it eventually, so that's why we decided to cut it. Also, there's one interesting thing with the Gauss rifle, which I did, because we had a plan to create a weapon, and we had an idea of how it should be shooting, but in fact, we didn't have time to make a new 3D model for it, like to be really cool. And we thought that we could use some of the models that we already had in the backpack somewhere, and we just went through them, choosing which one would kind of fit these shooting mechanics, and that was nice because this 3D model that we eventually took for Gauss rifle was designed to be an assault rifle somewhere, I don't know, a long time ago.
Interesting.
Yeah, and we thought that, well, it kind of looks like it could shoot like what we thought.
So it's a win-win because we have, some art stuff in backlog, and now we can fit it with it. Yeah, that's sweet.
Another backlog scene I, recalled in my mind. For a long time, we don't have it here. Probably it's everything new. For a long time, we've had our loading screen with the Paragon there, and it actually had disk launches on it, even though we never announced it back then. It was even pre-launch time. It was fun to look. A lot of such things. It's even funny to read in community when they try to, find something what's gonna be in the future, when they look at different images you've, put in a game, or maybe put some art of something in community, or put like we had story comics on our Facebook and some other social networks, as far as I remember, and people try to find something that try to guess that this probably will be the next gun, next mech, something like that. But I don't remember a lot about features, so very interesting stories, because a lot of just routine stuff, some routine problems. I remember one regarding gamepad. When we've developed controller support for a game, we've cut it down firstly because we're not sure that we'll be able to deliver some parts of it in time, so we just focused on the battle. But even by focusing on the battle on like 4 controllers to support, we've did everything. It play tested amazingly, but when it come to finalizing it, there was just a ton of bugs there, and we should, we have had to postpone release of the feature for like 5 months back then to deliver at least what we choose, a small part about battle.
Yeah, you're right, because both our players, they're extremely attentive to the content we release. They also find some teasers, some hints, some Easter eggs, and that is really great. Sometimes, well, probably for them it's a little bit sad and embarrassing when they find and they have this hint, not quite the way we planned it. So, but
also one interesting fact is that when you're a game designer, you can also notice such things in the game. And I'm playing Diablo 4 right now, and there's one character. You meet it in the game, you interact somehow, then the story goes on, and you meet it in the other location, but she's like totally different, and I'm 100% sure that it had to be another character, but they eventually just like, I don't know, merged them into the first one, and this is how it works. You actually think, but guys probably cut something off because they didn't have time to finish it.
Oh, you feel this pain, when you have to cut off something as well. And you mentioned another game, so are there any specific or special game releases that you are waiting for?
Well, the release of the upcoming, autumn, probably for me will be a 3.0 release of Mech Arena.
Oh, Winktor players.
Yep.
Well, great update. that was a huge deal, I should say, because it developed, enhanced the players' gaming experience, and in terms, especially in terms of balance, it has one of the greatest impact in the game. Can you please tell us more about developing it? What was the hardest thing in actually adding it into the current balance?
The initial decision to make such a great change because it changed a lot in player experiences from start to end game, and to actually do this change was a challenge because we know that players got used to what we had before, but we also seen a feedback that players are not understanding why there is no difference between varieties at all. That's the first reason we actually started talking about this. Then the playtesting and tweaking and tuning the balance was a hard part. You probably noticed it when we released, because we've made some post-release changes as well. And yeah, it was a lot of trying out and playtesting it. In our internal team, we played just game designers, plus we took other team members from QA, from development. Then we've showed this update for other teams that not invested in the game development. It was community plus the teams and team members of other projects we have that play our game. They also gave their feedback for this. And the third big challenge was with such a big change, we were afraid that people just deny it. They don't want it. And we've started making changes to our communication process. That probably was one of the first updates when we've given the test builds for content creators earlier than the initial release was. And yeah, and after that, actually, as you know, we've made other changes to content post-release, and yeah, we've actually monitored a lot of data after the game, after this update was released, because we know that it's a bigger change. We wanted to achieve some changes in the gameplay, and on the other side, we don't want to break something. Mm-hmm. So the data of how players win rate, kill rate, death rate of certain mechs, weapons. If go through all of it, and we have like 100 weapons in the game right now, right? Yeah. Even more already. Yeah. And same about mechs, like 20 mechs or even 25 for back then. It's a lot of data and a lot of analytical, statistical data, a lot of data. That was another challenge. Maybe anything from you about the redesign? Probably, maybe something changed post.
No, but I can shed some light on the biggest mysteries for the players, because
do it.
We do know that most of the updates, especially rebalance updates, they are not made like super warm, and we should be honest with each other, because we as a game designers feel the same when we play the other games, and when the game that we're playing, like not Mech Arena, and they update something in it, we're like, why the hell did you did the change to that character or to this thing? So it's a common thing, so we just need to treat it like, and we understand it when we read in the comments, and that's so. And it's just how life works in development.
The same works as our players when they ask why we not change something. The same works for us when we play other games. Yeah. We see that something seems broken for us, and but we see that they're not fixing it, and we like, why? Just fix it. It's easy. Do that. Do this, and well, having our own. like initially this is our first reaction to such things, but when you start analyzing it and
Yes,
you know
of course.
thinking,
You find the reasons.
yeah,
behind
you
that.
find the reason and you actually understand from development side that sometimes it's just not really possible. They need to want to do other things that have a bigger impact on players
Yeah, or
and
it
experience.
would break everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Just a
There is a
chain.
common meme in the game developers community that after the release of the game and after the release of update, you just have an increasingly, unimaginably big list of bugs and changes you want to do, but they just not major, and you only fix major stuff, and even you see that some parts of gamepad not work even now, but this is the minor problem. We have some bigger problems we should focus on.
Yeah, and sometimes there are just a lot of, like parameters that have to work together so that you can really notify this particular bug. So sometimes it's really hard to just recreate it the way some players can meet it. So guys, I really appreciate your answers, and I suggest we have just a tiny humorous break before the second part, where we'll be back to serious stuff.
Time for some fun. We've prepared a small challenge for Freyja and Pavlo. They will take turns reading Mech Arena themed dad jokes and try to make their counterpart laugh.
So let's do it quickly. Who'll be the first one?
Okay, let's go.
It's your turn.
Okay. Quick one. What does Jugger Squirrel eat on breakfast? Juggernauts.
Okay. What did Rick say when a boy entered the stage?
What did he say?
Rocket Morty!
Nice, nice. Did you hear about the Max pilot turned DJ? He's launching a new disc soon.
I get it, yeah. That's
Bring
a
it
nice
on.
one. Why is it always aliens who pilot attackers in Mech Arena? Because they don't let the predators drive. Predators drive, like Stalker's ability. Right.
Yeah, that was fun. I feel so sick today. Wish I hadn't had those tequila shots yesterday.
Okay. Let it be, let it be.
I believe you can do better.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know when the new progress system will be released, but one thing I know for sure, all players will be in tears.
Yeah, that's a nice one. That's nice. We have arenas on Moon, in the Arctic, in the desert, but we won't have one in Savannah, because there will be too many cheetahs.
Okay, whatever. What do snipers in Mech Arena and basketball players have in common?
Balls?
Long arms! What?
I won. I won this game. I do like this one. Let's test it on you. We'll see how it goes. As a fan of tank mechs, I have a clear understanding how to name my son. Ready? Sebastian.
That is literally dead jokes now. You will probably like this one. I'm a construction worker. No matter if I go to work or launch Mech Arena, I keep seeing the same thing, a brick house.
Playing Mech Arena can be really stressful sometimes. Every time my shield wall goes down, I poo my pants. I hope that you have this little text over here.
An animation, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a picture of Puma.
Yeah, Puma. Making movies is so fun. By the way, we're creating a series on how to operate a mech. We're currently filming a pilot.
That's nice.
Yeah.
The first episode, and
Yeah, exactly.
you're
Smart
doing
one.
great. You're doing great. By the way, did you hear about the black market mech dealer? When the cops showed up, he was Paragon.
Okay, now we are doing coke jokes.
Hope this is legal.
Whoop whoop, the sound of police. Another mech with stealth come into the game. That's so hard to hear.
Because you can hear their steps. Yep.
I guess so.
Oh, that's my favorite, I swear. That's a blast. There are only two unwritten rules in Mech Arena. 1 and 2.
Okay. Why Major and Archangel do not get along with each other?
Why?
Their relationship has no spark.
You got me. I think that's it.
And we did it. Давай. Ты таким просто. See ya next time. Cut. And we're back. Let's start part 2 with big guns, shall we? So guys, come on, spill on the beans. Tell us a little bit about upcoming features. Should we expect probably PvE? Because you know a lot of players really are waiting for this game mode to be implemented.
Yes. Yes.
Considered.
Okay. Yeah, we are now right now we are prototyping some variations of PvE, solely like one player against bots. It will be a little bit different than some players may expect because it will be more about challenging players rather than some story-based experience and long levels and.
So it's not a solitary boss, right?
Yeah, on the one hand, it could be like what you've mentioned, single boss, you and your teammates are fighting against it. And on the other hand, it could be just a long levels with like story and voiceovers and characters running around. In the first version, it would be neither of it. We are trying to make and try something in between, and we will start with some. It will be something similar to puzzle-like experiences. Some from time to time we call it like a chess situation. If you try chess, you may know this training situations when you need to solve, like you have a certain amount of figures and the opponent have another amount, and you just solve the single situation. That is what we are trying to aim for. So you'll be required to use your skill and mech and understanding of the game to decide what enemies you should kill first, what you should concentrate on, and find right positions for this everything to receive less damage and deal more damage, something like that. And we'll try to variate enemies, variate amount of them, the loadouts they have, loadouts that you have. Do something like that, try it out, see how it goes, what the reception of players of it first, and second, how we actually able to balance it out, because it's a great challenge for us. We've never developed something like it in the studio. As far as I remember, we don't have like solely very active PvE experiences like that. And after that, we'll try to move actually towards the boss situation. We'll probably try something out with smaller bosses first, and then when we, go through a lot of iterations and already have experience with this, we'll probably try to expand it to something greater, and maybe even to some multiplayer co-op experience.
So it's mostly for hardcore players, experienced players, because that's a lot of a challenge and mind games.
We'll try to reach everyone. There would be challenges for all players that play the game a lot, but it's also should be approachable for new players. And another goal of this feature is to teach some new players, so they try out some combinations, some playstyle, like by placing enemies in certain order and creating certain situations. We'll try to teach these players to use their abilities and to play better with them. That's one of the other goals besides just creating the puzzle-like experience. We are now on a very early prototyping stage. We are developing some tools to be able to implement such experience. It may feel like it's similar for all players, but the amount of bots will be a little bit bigger than you usually face in our current game modes. Even in free-for-all, you only you play against 9 players, but you face up to 3, 4 usually max. Here you'll be like alone against a huge team of PvP bot-controlled enemies, and just you need to survive and figure out how to kill them, all of them in time.
That's huge. I mean, a lot of details, even more than I expected. So good luck developing this, guys. Really, fingers crossed. What can I say? And in terms of upcoming events, I mean, we all enjoy the current one, but summer won't last forever, and probably you've prepared something special, something spooky for Halloween.
We definitely have something spooky. The mech with a new ability, it will probably, players will fear him a lot.
We do have some plans for the new content that we're going to do to make a mech and weapon and plus pilot.
The full kit, yeah?
Yeah, starter pack, Halloween starter pack. The mech would be a really interesting one, I guess. It would be the support mech with the new disable-like mechanics, which will be sleep, like a new status effect. It will be something similar to what stun does to enemies. But on contrast to stun, if you receive damage while you're asleep, you'll wake up and the effect breaks. That's why in our idea was the support mech to support its team with disabling a couple of mechs on the battlefield. Should be pretty interesting. We also have some challenge with how bots should treat the mechs that fell asleep.
Yeah.
But I'm sure we'll find some good decisions for it. As for the weapon, this will be the new Gauss rifle.
type of a weapon. I mean, it would be the other weapon, but
it's already like familiar for players.
yeah, it would be familiar for those who play with Scout's rifle, and it will have a really interesting mechanics with a couple of status effects, let's say so.
No spoiler there.
Yeah, and we're even thinking of letting the players choose which status effects will be applied earlier or some things like that. So we'd really try to give them a choice somehow in these regards. So I think it should be a really interesting one. And it will be a sniper pilot to support this type of weapon.
You've mentioned story mode when we're talking about PvE, but we don't have plans for it right now, but we are trying to create some continuous story through storytelling with our environments. And right now we are trying to continue that. We've took inspiration. We've had this big monolith on Artifact X map, and the whole story will, the whole visual part of this event will be revolving around that and around the place where this stone, originated, another dimension, sort of. It will, look something similar to probably if you've ever played such games as Control or Astral Plane. They have similar visuals at some parts. It's like very, it's a very abstract place with a very, a lot of stone, let's say, there, and everything floating there. And on top of that, we've trying to make even more changes in maps experience. So the new maps will include some a much bigger amount of moving objects. You may remember the smokestacks map that we released in we so-called factory sim. And there was a rotating object there, and we've used this and just go wild with it. Like a lot of moving objects will be there, and not only visually, just on your background, but it will have a huge impact on the gameplay as well.
So players can interact with it somehow, right?
Not interact directly, but well, you'll see when it comes. Just trust me. It will be different. And the pilot you've mentioned, he actually continues this story, and I don't know whether we will have some comics about this storyline, but you can read more about the situation. And
you can create one.
Yeah, actually, that's a great idea. Maybe for some,
contest.
Some contest with comics. Whether you know it or not, you can read pilot storylines in the game, and well, just try to click there somewhere in pilot details window and read what happened to him and how, and more about this astral dimension from his story. And well, it will be also highlighted in his visuals. He'll look a little bit different, and as far as I remember, to develop some changes in his visuals. We've even need to implement some additional technical, implementations into our game to like add some additional animations and stuff like that. Yeah, that's probably the main thing I wanted to tell about.
So you're wrapping up the story of the event with some visual. Inside the map you incorporate it, and our players should probably be really attentive to some details, because there are some hints and some objects that contain maybe some teasers or, you know, some special places, as it was with the so-called factory map with, you know, some titles on the shops?
Well, titles on the shops were more like of an Easter egg to our culture, just like imagining our culture somewhere in the future. But in this case, in Artifact X case and the new dimension, it's more like not just abstract Easter egg, it's visual narration, as I said. When you may notice some stuff on our this and future maps that will link the story, the global world story.
Hello there! Can you hear me? Good, because these guys can't. You see, instead of the usual outtakes, we've decided to run the Whisper Challenge for Freyja and Pavlo. With those soundproof headphones blasting music, they can't hear a thing and must lip read what their counterpart says.
You ready? We go. Okay, the first word is free for all. Free for all.
Finger?
3 words. Free
Free for all.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, let's try it. Let's try. Bring it on.
2
Peace.
words. Iron.
Owl. Owl.
Iron. Boat.
Auf. Like wolves do. Auf.
Iron.
One.
Iron. Iron. Boat.
That the 2 words.
Yes.
You're saying the first one only. No.
No, 2.
Oh, 2 words. Okay.
Iron. Boat.
Iron pod.
Yay!
Wow. You'll like it. It's 2 words. Victory imminent. Victory imminent.
Oh,
2 words.
Victory.
Yes.
Simon.
Imminent.
Himanen.
Victory.
Victory
imminent.
crates.
No. Imminent.
Imminent.
Yes. Perfect.
3 words.
3 words.
Kill shot.
Or that's the Ukrainian symbol.
Kill shot. Kill shot.
Oh my god. I'm sure it's not that word.
Not appropriate. Don't say it.
It's the wheel mech that we have.
Yeah,
A kill
yeah.
shot.
Kill shot. Let me check. I don't remember the rest of it. Orbit.
Horrible. Whole
He's
wheel.
great. Orbit.
Orbit. Orbit.
Yeah, kill shot. Orbit. Third word.
And the last word.
Velocity.
Freedom.
Velocity.
Fat. Value.
Velocity.
Velocity.
Yeah!
It's just 1 word. And this word is backtrack.
Passion.
Backtrack.
Bastion.
Backtrack.
Backtrack.
Yes.
Backtrack.
She's really good at this game.
No, a lot of words.
A lot of words.
Yeah. Dream of any player. A million of A coins. A
cowards.
No, that's my teammates. A coins.
Cows.
A coins. A coins.
Cows. Coins.
A coins.
A million of A coins.
Yeah, that's it.
2 words.
Fusion cannon.
Victory.
No. Fusion.
Feature.
Fusion.
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 Yeah, like.
You are really
Gillette,
great at this game.
Canon.
Shave. Cannon?
Fusion shave, yeah. Canon.
Ken.
Canon.
Cannon. Cannon.
Yes.
Fusion cannon?
Yes. That's.
That's it. Well, that's actually not a word. It's a name, I would say.
There were 20 words. which,
40.
Which of these I have to guess?
Spicy.
Is it just one word?
Yeah.
Okay.
Spicy memes. Spicy.
Spicy
memes.
beans.
Ooh, no. Memes.
Beams. Spicy memes.
Spicy memes.
Memes? Like, oh.
Yeah,
Spicy memes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The most frequent bot's name, actually, nickname.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I should say someone that wrote my words will probably just doesn't like you because they're harsh, really, extremely hard compared to your words. That was nice.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Me
Thank
too.
you. See ya. God.
Between itself.
I hope that our players, they will appreciate your answers pretty much as I did, because that was an incredible experience. We should probably have more of this in the nearest future, and well, that is your chance to, you know, leave some special message to our players. Probably you have some parting words you would like to share. Now it's the time. That is sweet.
Love your parents, wash your hands, eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, and everything's gonna be alright. And of course, play some interesting games.
Play Mech Arena.
Never grow old.
Sometimes it's just impossible. Yeah, play games, play Mech Arena. Try it out on PC probably. You may know or may not know. We have a PC and Mac version of it. Try some controller maybe. It may, you know, diversify your experience, and you may find something new for you in it.
Thanks for watching. Hit like, subscribe.
Yeah, thanks.
And see ya.
See ya, guys. Bye bye.
Pan Pavlo wants to launch a tournament, so I hope we just...
Oh, I'll die in a few seconds.
By the way, I don't
You
know
have,
why. It's a common thing that players always think that developers play on a maxed out accounts. They have all the content in the game and stuff like that, but we actually don't.
And I'm like 6,000 power right now. Yeah, it may be a lot, but it's not max power.
It's far from being.
Oh, new map, sweet.
Oh, I missed.
It was risky.
I knew I should have done like more.
Your
should have added more speed.
Your
to...
freaking Orion just killed my bots. Just 100 HP gone in one.
Every time when I'm playing Punisher, I think that I should
punish someone.
No. that I should have made the projectile speed higher, because I play it rarely and I always miss. And I'm like, what? Nice. Are you going to kill anyone today?
No, some
Shields
Sentinel
don't.
just killed me faster than I ripped him apart with Dark Torrents.
Freyja has brick house, nice. Oh, nice one. See you in Valhalla.
Let's take Ryan. Babe. I just saw bot on the Z spinning like, and I was like singing it in my head. Like, you spin my head.
Somebody just blocked my movement and I was ripped apart with
was,
miniguns.
It was intentionally because I wanted to steal your frags. And I did it as you see.
Every time I play with him, he just, you know, try to steal everything I do.
Yeah.
Try to kill, try to capture points. He just goes, pushes me away from it, and
who stole my free-for-all?
Oh, stop being jelly.
It's a prolonged revenge of yours.
Yeah.
Just talked about Artifactics, and we're now playing on Artifactics. Just the Galaxy here does. Easy.
Good job.
Easy.
Well done, boys.
Yay, boys.
And girls.
And every region of us just in MVP. Amazing.